squatting, gym, and Savish. That's my home. That's what I know best in life. That's who I am. I'll never erase that. I thought about this morning. I'm thinking, and Sean, a good friend of Savish is Sean. He's a high finance guy. He's into, the Rolex watches and the suits, and he's been very successful in life. I'm playing that game now. I put the suit on every day. I go to the office, and the same mentality that worked in the gym for those 40 years in squatting, I take to the office, and you know what? I can kick butt in the office. And I don't really know what Sean knows, but the attitude. We were just talking about this before too. Most guys think about, what to take and what to eat, and they forget about what to think. I mean, when I first won the universe in '78, a long time ago, before you were born, I knew nothing about what I was doing. I was some new kid out here on the block, and I was around the very best in the world. Corny, Zane, Robbie, just to mention a few. And that I won the universe knowing nothing about how to get there. I just knew I had to do it. I had to do it, or I'm going to die. And I was willing to give it that much. Somehow it came together, and I pulled it off, and I won the universe. Then when I learned what to do and how to eat, and nutrition and all that stuff, how to train properly, it came together. But nothing replaces your belief system. Your belief system to where you know for sure that you're willing to go the distance to get there. I mean, the only difference between me and everybody in this room is that I wanted it more. I mean, I was willing to die for it. I would do whatever it took. I was an 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid out of college, came out here, $50 on a plane ticket, and tomorrow I'm training at Gold's Gym. Arnold was there, Robbie was there, and I had to do it. I had to do it. There was no plan B. I sort of had a plan B, but I really didn't believe in it. I had a couple degrees. I could be a teacher. I talked to the school district, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be like everybody else, and I wanted to be a bodybuilder. And that was my plan in life. And through the grace of God, He allowed me to fulfill what I wanted to do. I wasn't blessed with great genetics. I didn't have, small waist and big shoulders. I wasn't 6'5". But you know what? I wasn't even competing with anyone else. I was trying to beat that guy, Tom Platz, every day. If I had to challenge Tom Platz, whatever he did, I could do better. And that was what I did. That's all I did. And now 40 years later, here we are talking about the old days. And it's kind of, it's meaningful to me to talk about the old days, but the same attitude, I'm taking to the office every day, and it's working there too. So when I talk to 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, I talk about the mentality first. Forget about the technique and how to do this. If you want something bad enough, you can do it. If you want something bad enough, you can do it. I firmly believe that. And
Tom,
yeah.
Would you say, I was actually going to ask you that question, what made you who you are, meaning Tom Platz? There's a lot of bodybuilders out there was a lot in the old days, there's a lot today, but very few people have achieved the status of legend in our sport, such as yourself. So
thanks.
Would you say that's that mentality that made you who you are?
Well, mentality is everything.
Yeah.
Your belief system. When everybody else says, no, you could never, you don't have the genetics. There's a few guys I knew back in Detroit when I was in college. When I was leaving for California, they shook my hand, they said, we'll see you in the magazines. And I said, you betcha. And I knew it was going to come true. It was like we all came out here. You have to realize this. We all came out here from different parts of the world in the 70s and the 60s, like anointed zombies. That movie, Night of the Living Dead, everybody walks like that. We all came out here. We left our families. We left high-paying jobs. We left everything we had to come to Gold's Gym to train together. And it was like, that's all we cared about. And the beach we had no suntan beds. We went to the beach for 3 hours after the 2-hour workout. That was part of the mentality, But, and it's amazing to think about that. We all migrated from different parts of the world to be here because we knew it was that important to us. And we're willing to sacrifice anything to do it. And I'll admit, I was a bit insane. But you gotta be a little bit insane to do this. You can't be normal. You can't be like, well, I'm gonna run a business also, and I'm gonna get married and have kids too. And you can be that guy. There's gotta be a switch. You go, click. Now you're crazy in the gym. You will do anything. You will die. You're willing to die to get there. And then click. Hi, honey. How are you? You have to be able to do that. And that's the only difference between me and a guy that didn't make it, you know? I can see that clearly. And it's a lot of fun to look back and think about, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, but those are the things I did right. And it wasn't just me, it was my destiny. And I often think, and I thought about this morning over my coffee, I could have went to Princeton. I could have went to an Ivy League college. I could have, had a high-paying corporate position. And I could have played golf, maybe professional golf. Maybe that would have been my answer. But, you know, it wasn't then. Now I look back and I think, you know, I love pro golf. Oh, what a sport. I just love the mentality there. I like the fact when I talk to Sean and guys in the corporate world and finance, and when I talk to some of my mentors, Vince McMahon and even Donald Trump, I love the attitude. But you know what? When I talk to these guys, they'll look at me and they go, God, I'd love to have your life. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know? And I think about their life. So it's always, you know, greener on the other side of the fence. But I love to put myself in uncomfortable situations to where I have to figure it out, I have to learn. 1977, coming out here with $50 and a plane ticket. Going into the corporate world at age 50, going, all right, I worked in the gym, I'm going to apply it in the corporate. And you know something? I can run circles around these 20 and 30-year-olds. I can kill them, you know? And it's the same thing. There's competitive atmosphere, there's caffeine, there's corporate politics, the same way it is in the gym and in the world of bodybuilding. But you have to make it work for you rather than against you. You can't get bitter, you can't get upset and say, oh, I could have, if, you know. There's no excuse. You're in control. We are all causative in what happens to us. We are causative. And you have to realize, even if something doesn't go your way, you lose the show. I lost many shows. I lost more shows than I won. People forgot about that. Okay? I remember in 1978, I lost to Mr. America. And I'm thinking I'm going to get a job now. I'm like, oh God, do I have to get a real job? I don't want to do that. I was handing out beach towels on the beach, you know. And then all of a sudden, the guy who Tony Pearson won that year, and then Ron Tufu, who was the proposed winner, got pissed off and called the judges names and walked off stage, and all the judges looked at me and said, and I'm like, it's my turn. I knew it was my turn. You know, they whispered in my ear, you know, get in the pose down. And I went to the universe. I lost to Mr. America, went to the universe and won the universe and turned pro in '79, competed in my first Olympia. I wasn't supposed to be that guy. I wasn't the Weeders guy he brought out here and said, hey, he's the guy that's going to do it. He's going to be it. I'm going to mold it. I just wanted this so bad that I told the universe, excuse me, this is my destiny. I know it. And you know what? Because of that belief system, it happened. And I thank God every day for that. I don't know what I'd do if it wasn't for that. When I get on the phone and I talk to a multi-billionaire, you know, you're a little bit uneasy. I'm talking to the President of the United States or Vince McMahon, you know. But you know what gives me strength? The fact that I was able to hear and squat here and go to the point where I couldn't do 5 more, and I got 5 more, and then got even 5 more. There's always 5 more. The fact that I could do that gave me so much strength in life. I'm in total respect and honor of the squat rack forever. It's my altar. It's what taught me how to get there. And it works in every business, in every phase of life. And that's what we talked about this morning.
Tom, it's so great that you actually take the time to teach, you know, the younger generation, and we have people coming all the way from Vegas to Temecula, you know, locally. What do you want them to take out of this? What's your message or your best advice for them?
I think the younger, the 20s and 30-year-olds, they forgot about what it takes. It doesn't matter what you take and how much and what you eat. It matters about your belief system and your willingness to give it everything you have. Nobody trains hard anymore. I said that when I first came out. Then I was around Menser and Viator. You know what? These guys train super hard. I'm like, wow. They can move 500 and 600 pounds for reps, and I'm a 19-year-old kid going, that's it, that's the answer. And then you look at Ronnie Coleman, another practitioner of that. He was trained by a guy that I trained, okay? The mentality has to be there, and I think people need to realize that it's not gonna happen by chance. You have to make it happen, you have to will it to happen, you have to want it to happen more than anything in your life, and you're willing to give your life for it. I mean, not to where you take it and you die, but you're willing to give it that much. If something doesn't have an inherent risk, it's not worth taking. I mean, an inherent expectation of success. Like last weekend, I did 30 reps, and I was just starting back. I had put 2.25 on, did 30 reps. It took me till Wednesday to recover. And I'm thinking I'm 62 years old, and I'm walking I'm like walking around Tuesday morning going, man, I'm not recovered yet, I'm dying. And I'm thinking, what am I doing at 62, giving it that much? I should be relaxing on the beach somewhere, but you know what?
That's all you know.
You have to go there. It's my home. It's my church. And Savish, I worked with Savish for a couple of years. I mean, I'll do anything for him. He's like my brother. I said, tell me the time, tell me the day, I'll be here, we'll do it. And it's like being in the mob. You get out of it, sometimes you think, okay, now I'm a business guy, I wear a suit every day, I drive a Mercedes or something, But you know what? You always go back home. It's like you never. As soon as Brian Dobson calls me and says, Tom, can you come to my show? I need you to do something for me. I'm in, because he's from the old days. I mean, he owns Metroflex.
Yep.
But you never get out of the mob. Once you're in the mob, you can't ever get out. And as much as, and so I've thought about this, and I was talking to Arnold and some of my mentors the other day, and they mentioned to me that you never can don't ever lose respect for where you came from. That's the home. That's what your life springboarded from. And when I think about that, and I still get advice from my mentors, absolutely. I mean, mentor figures are real important. That's another thing we forgot about in life. We all follow what everybody else is doing. I'm waiting for the next Mr. Olympia to do something totally different. Everybody copied Dorian. Dorian is a good friend of mine. He was in every seminar I did in England. He was in the back. He never talked. He would raise his hand occasionally, eating every 2 hours. I'm thinking, who is this guy? Okay, that he knew what he wanted. I offered him $250,000 a year back in 1992 to come with the WWE. He goes, no, I can't, Tom. I believe I'm going to be Mr. Olympia. I'm thinking, I respect this guy. I like his decision. And sure enough, we had no Instagrams. We had no email back then. We had no internet. I sent him a telegram. Most people don't even know what a telegram is. I sent him a telegram and I said, hey, you did it. You told me you're going to do it. Now, 3 years later, you did it. Congratulations. Yeah. But we all are in a position to give back. I mean, money comes and goes, okay? Money comes and goes. I've had stupid amounts of money and no money and everything else in between. But the way you affect other people, that lasts forever. And finally, at age 62, I'm realizing it's not about the money. The money is nice, you can buy stuff, I like stuff, but it's not all about the stuff. It's about the love of the game and the energy that I got from my mentors, that now it's my turn before I die to pass it on. And if I don't do that, I'm remiss. Okay? Wow. I have to do that. So whatever it takes to get that message out, to motivate the 20s and 30-year-olds to say, hey, wake up. It's not about what somebody's doing everybody else does. It's doing about what you want to do. And making it happen. When I first came out here, I know I can go on forever with this stuff, but I was an 18, 19-year-old kid, kind of muscular, 220 pounds, and I'm short, stocky kid, but I looked at Robbie and Arnold and Zane. They all had this style, they had this class, something that set them apart from everybody else. And I'm thinking, how do I do that? How do I become my own? So the girls taught me. And I couldn't pose, I couldn't dance, I was just like, bro, I could squat, that's about it, And they taught me to do things. The girls, the early female bodybuilders said, I like the thing you do with your hair, and I'm thinking, what do you mean? Tell me, teach me. And so they taught me how to really put a little finesse into my pose, how a stocky, short guy could pose and still be kind of sexy, if we dare use that word. But you know what? Every time I went on stage, and I wanted to go on stage every 5 days. I probably should have stayed home and trained for the Olympia and won, but then I'd be just another Mr. Olympia winner. I wanted to go, we had no Facebook. I had to go on stage every 5 days and travel to Europe for 3-4 months out of the year to put this together, to be that guy. And I loved it. I loved the stage. I loved talking to 3,000, 10,000 people at one time by my posing. Posing is non-verbal communication, And I used to love to have, it was almost like being the Beatles or being Elvis Presley. You felt like, but then quickly I realized I'm not that guy. I'm one of them. They're one of me. But let me show you how it goes according to me. And people bought into that. And I think it's been some years now since I've been on stage. Of course, I've retired, and it's now time for me to get back and say, hey, let's do it again.
Wow.
And that's why I'm here.
Well, let's speaking about this. I mean, we're shooting this today, and I'm sure a lot of people will see this piece. But I'm sure a lot of people will also say, you know what, I want Tom to come to my gym and do this talk. How can they get a hold of you?
Well, sure. You can always reach me at Tom Platz at tomplatz.com. Okay, you can always reach me there. You can reach me through Savish,
Six Packs Gym. There you go, Culver City.
You can always reach me here. But I'm available on, I'm doing things.
Would you go? Yeah, if someone wanted you to go?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean,
we want to share you with the world, man. Again.
The world's been good to me. I got a gift, okay? We all have a gift. We all get a gift. We all have a talent or something. When I was 9 years old, it was between playing music on my guitar. I played lead guitar, and I realized that I wasn't that good. I wasn't Eric Clapton. It was between building fast cars in my garage, 427 Hemis, and I didn't have the knowledge or the money to do it. Bodybuilding was the cheapest thing to do back then, and it would give me the ability to go on stage and to train and utilize my attitude. Now bodybuilding is the most expensive thing, it seems like, doesn't it? You know what? You can't buy what I'm talking about. You can talk to others and get it from others, and that's what we talked about. It's not about what you take, what you eat. And I think most bodybuilders eat too much. Everybody's getting that puffy look. That's why you don't see. I'm looking for, again, I'm going to end with this, the next Mr. Olympia who does something totally different than Dorian did. Everybody copied Dorian quite successfully, with all due respect to all the great champions since Dorian. But the next guy, I think, is going to do something we haven't seen yet like Dorian did. It's going to be like, oh my God, I never thought of that. That's what I'm waiting for, and I want to see that before I die. I have an idea in my head what it's going to look like. But it's not just going to be a bodybuilder who doesn't talk and who eats 10, 15 times a day and weighs 270. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be somebody like Arnold who can talk and entertain and laugh at themselves and be a person too to motivate and inspire others. That's why we're here. We're not here to, who has the most stuff and the most money doesn't win the game. I thought that was the answer for a while. And when I had the most stuff and the most money, I wasn't the most happiest. I'm the most happiest when I'm in my element talking about how I got there, even getting there. So you win the universe, you win the Olympia. Okay, fine, what's next? And even now at the Mr. Olympia, everybody's like, oh, freaky, honey, great, let's go to dinner now. Back in my day, it was like the Beatles, and people were rushing the stage with security guards, baseball bats. It was like we only had 3,000 people in the audience, And that's what I miss. And I think we have to not only affect us. My job is not only to affect the bodybuilding community. My job is to affect others within our community, to affect the world at large. Because what we do here in the gym is a wonderful thing. It gives you life. It motivates you. It opens you up to do many other things. And it's the same energy that works here works everywhere else too. And that's my message.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you.